Hello everybody, this is Catholic Dad, episode number 419, Loneliness is Bad. And so I'm reading a book right now called Live Not by Lies by Rod Dreher, okay? And the book is essentially, it's written because of Alexander Solzhenitsyn, and everybody knows who he is. He wrote the Gulag Archipelago. He was the, the Orthodox Catholic dissident to communism, and he was converted within the Gulag, and he was probably the greatest literary genius in the last century. He's a giant. He's a real giant. Well, anyway, he wrote an essay on how to resist Soviet-style communism, and he said, it's really hard. It devours all society. But you personally, what you can do is live not by lies, because communism forces you to admit to lies in a public sphere, and that it will disparage you and destroy you if you don't live by those lies. An example would be like transgenderism. It forces you to say transgenderism is real, and if a woman says she's a man, then she's actually a man, not a woman, or the opposite way around. And it forces you to say things that you disagree with just to get your compliance. And so that's where the name of the book comes from. Alexander Solzhenitsyn, Live But Not by Lies. And we should probably stand up and not live by lies. That's an encouragement. But loneliness is bad. That's what this video is about. And in the book, they quote another book called The Origins of Totalitarianism, which was written in 1951, which is shortly after, all the Russian purges of, the Stalin terror and all the other stuff, as well as Nazism in Germany, and that The Origins of Totalitarianism. And the author of this book said that there are two preconditions to totalitarianism in the world. Number one is people don't trust their civic system, okay? Meaning their government. They don't trust their government, and that's one of the two preconditions. And in America, do we trust our government? No, we haven't trusted for 40, 50, 60 years or something like that. So we don't trust our government. We have the first precondition. Number two is loneliness. When you combine people that don't trust their government and they're lonely, that is the precondition where people will want to get out of that loneliness and will accept anything to overthrow the civic system that they don't trust anymore. And so what happened this year, by the way? We had, the COVID pandemic. If it's real, I don't know. It's obviously a real virus, but if it's as bad as everybody said it was, I'm not certain. I mean, I read an ICU board every single day. I'm in a hospital and I deal with sick people and COVID patients on a daily basis, and I'm not so certain it's any worse than any other year. That's just my own personal bias. But all that being said is loneliness. If you have the precondition of loneliness, you are now a slave to totalitarianism, and you will fall for any trick they throw at you, which makes you think, maybe COVID was invented to actually descend us into totalitarianism. And it seems to be that's the way we're going. And so in the book, by the way, it encourages people, okay? It encourages people to not be lonely. Get together. Get together and read books together, or read the Bible, or pray together, or have dinners together, or donut hours, or you name it. We have to stop this isolation thing we do in the world. The social media makes us do it, and not makes us, but it leads us to not doing it, or to isolating ourselves. The COVID pandemic leads us to isolating ourselves. And really the exact opposite is true. What we need to do is put down the damn phones. We need to literally get off the social media, and we need to literally call up a friend and say, hey, I'm cooking dinner tonight, please come over. And what you do is you form community, and you're not isolated anymore. And so our country right now is so isolated, it's ridiculous. And he gives examples of the Christian dissidents in Eastern Europe. He actually went over to Czechoslovakia and Hungary and researched the Christian resistance, and they were all about underground meetings, quiet secret meetings where they can get together and just pray together and just be together, and they gave each other strength. And so you in the Catholic community, by the way, do not be lonely. You have to open your house to hospitality. You have to open your house to other people. You have to tell people how much you need them, how much you love them, how much you desire to be around them. Because we as Catholics, Christians, we're not called to be isolated at all. We're actually called to go into this world. We're actually called to be hospitable to people and actually open our homes to those who are in need. And lonely people despair, and they fear, and they just want to be taken care of. And if we could do it on a local level, take care of each other and fall in love with one another as a community, then we can actually make a small but meaningful resistance against the totalitarianism which I suspect is coming to this land. And so loneliness is terrible. It sucks. It sucks bad. And we as Catholics, we have to say we are not going to accept it anymore. And we will do our donut hours, we'll get together after church, we'll go out with some friends, we'll go dancing, whatever, singing songs, it doesn't matter. And people will look at you with crossed eyes. If you're in shutdowns, then do it anyway. Literally, go be with your friends and make new friends. And it doesn't matter if they're Catholic or not, because like we as Catholics, we evangelize. We hang out with atheists, we hang out with biker dudes, we hang out, you name it, everybody. Go do it. Make some community and be Christian, have Christian charity towards all. And you will form the resistance to totalitarianism. This is Catholic Dad making you think about it. Please like or subscribe, get the Mass, and pray the Daily Rosary. God bless you all.